Hello there friends and welcome. This is a guide on how to increase your attribute points to the max, way beyond that of what you could have achieved through normal leveling. For example, my character here is level 60, started as an astrologer, yet I already have 68 intelligence, 28 mind and 30 vigor. What's really special about this is that as far as all of my other stats, I have never spent a single point in any of them. Yet I still have pretty decent scores that allow me, for example, to even wear heavy armor, a shield with 100% damage negation, all sorts of different weapons that require dexterity and strength. So without further ado, let us learn how to really increase our attribute points to the max. The first and probably the most overpowered of them all comes from a Great Rune, in this case Godric's Great Rune, which has the effect of increasing all of your attributes by 5 whole points. That's how powerful this Great Rune is. We are looking at 40 free points for our characters, equal to well 40 levels for free. You can't really choose where these points are going into, as it's just +5 to all of them. Now, you can get Godric's Great Rune by defeating the boss of Stormveil Castle, Godric the Grafted of course. But that won't be enough, because you still have to go through a different process to actually be able to restore Godric's Great Rune to full power and also equip it. So here's how it goes. First, teleport or find the Limgrave Tower Bridge Grace inside Stormveil Castle. From there, you'll want to go up the stairs, and now rush straight ahead past all of the enemies until you reach the tower in the distance. Some of the giants will actually awaken as you move past them, but as I said, you can just rush. Just be careful because their attacks, well, they are wielding massive weapons, so they have massive range on their attacks. The last one is a big archer, but it is easy to avoid, because his ranged attacks are rather delayed. Just keep going right ahead. And then enter the Sending Gate. And the gate will teleport you to the Divine Tower in the Stormhill area. Going straight ahead, open the very big doors to enter the Divine Tower of Limgrave. Go right here at the center and ride the pillar. And here we are, the top at last. There's actually a grace here, but we still have to go even higher. And finally, at last, the place we need to go. So between the two fingers, restore the power of the Golden Rune. So now we have Godric's Great Rune at full power. To actually use the rune power, go to any grace and rest at it. Then you'll find this new menu here, Great Runes. We can only use one at a time, select Godric's Great Rune. However, we still need to do something. So our attributes actually didn't change, because after having a Great Rune equipped, you have to then use a Rune Arc, which will finally empower you with the rune. So let's see how our stats increase. That's quite a powerful boost, isn't it? And the best part is, this will actually last until you die. And then if you die, all you have to do is use a Rune Arc again, for the same benefit. The stat increase is surreal. You gain more hit points, damage, stamina, everything. It's perfect really. And to get more Rune Arcs, they are actually farmable. First, the red enemies in the game do drop them, but it is a very rare drop. The easiest way is probably to get it by helping others through multiplayer defeat bosses. Just drop your summon sign through the Tarnished Furlet Finger item, especially in popular bosses like the main story bosses such as Godric and Renala and also Margit, and you are sure to be summoned pretty fast, in seconds most times. Now for a second and very easy way to highly increase your stats, we have Talismans. The first and most important one is Radagon's Sword Seal. It will increase your Vigor, Endurance, Strength and Dexterity by 5 whole points. So that's an extra 20 levels worth of points you're getting for free. It does actually increase your damage taken by a little bit, which doesn't really matter because honestly, the attribute boosts more than make up for it. Radagon's Sword Seal is also special in that you can get it at the very start of the game with little difficulty. Even as soon as you enter the first area, that's how fast you can get this. I already have a guide linked to the site here going in depth on how to reach the area where you can get this talisman. For this video in particular, I'll keep it shorter and just guide you to the Fort Faroth area, which is the place you have to go. So go up the stairs. The idea is to just rush past all of the enemies. Don't stop for anything. Go past the beds. Rush for the stairs here. You might as well loot the chest here for the Tactus medallion, the right part of it, which will come in handy later on. Drop here. Keep going straight ahead. Past the enemies. Now drop in this section with the stairs. The ladder, I mean, again. Go right here. Jump in this little section. Drop right here. And our medallion is right here. Pretty easy. Now you'll probably die from the rest that will drop, but you know, we already have our talisman. Now for our second very powerful talisman, we have Marika's Scar Seal, which is pretty much the complement to Radagon's Sword Seal. The difference is Marika will increase your intelligence, mind, faith and arcane. This is only the Scar Seal, so the increase is +3 for an equivalent of 12 free levels, but you can get the Sword Seal version, which is stronger, for +5 to each of these attributes. The reason I'm going with the Scar Seal version is because, well, it is simply a lot easier to find than the stronger version, which is in a very late game area that also requires you to go through a very dangerous dungeon. Now to get to the area you want, go to the Worshipper's Wood Grace in the Siofra River Well. From there, keep going south, past the area with the turtles here, then go right up this fallen column. Avoid the archer enemies and enter the portal right here. Now we are at the highest place of the Siofra River Well. What you want to do is turn right. See the big guy over there is the boss, but you don't have to fight it. Just head straight for the waterfall. Right ahead. You can already see there's an item here. Loot it. And there we go, Marika's Scar Seal. See, the boss didn't even aggro us. So you can do this just fine with ease. Just as a note, if you're wondering how to get the stronger version of this talisman, well, like I said before, it's pretty tough to get and very much endgame only. You'll have to use the Stone Sword key in an area of Alpha L Brace of the Helic Tree, which is the second part of Michaela's Helic Tree dungeon, and can only be accessed after you defeat the boss called Loretta, Knight of the Helic Tree. It's pretty complicated to get, honestly. Now, the bonuses to stats from talismans don't stop there. You also have individual talismans that increase your stats by around +5, some of which are easy to get and can be found at the early game, like the Two Fingers Heirloom for +5 to your faith. I already have a guide on how to get it linked to the side here, which is my Prophet and Faithcaster guide. But the other attributes also have talismans for it, like +5 strength, dexterity, intelligence and so on. So please be sure to keep this in mind. Lastly, we also have talismans that don't increase your attributes, but on the other hand can increase some stats like stamina through Viridian Ember Medallion, or also hit points through Crimson Ember Medallion. I also have guides for these here linked to the side. But the main boosts to your attributes truly come from Godric's Great Rune for +5, and then Radagon's and Marika's Seals for another +3 or +5. Now, there is, for example, a lower version of Radagon's Sword Seal, which also increases your stats by +3, but I don't believe you can actually wear them at the same time. You can, however, wear Radagon and Marika's together. Alright everyone, so this was it for my how to easily increase your stats guide way beyond of your levels. If you found this guide useful, then please remember to like, subscribe and even consider becoming a channel member. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends.